Hello and welcome to Driver's Therapy. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why gas stations are the real car show. What I've noticed is that majority of my interactions and meeting new people are at a gas station. And when you really think about it, it kind of makes sense though, because you have a moment, like a momentary bit of time where you're pumping gas and you're just kind of looking at the sky, looking at the pump, looking at the car. And every now and then somebody might be like, nice car. And I get a lot of like, I used to own that car. And of course, when it comes to like the GTR, people are like, why is the steering wheel on the right-hand side? And then when it comes to like the GT4, people are just like, oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful car. But depending on how far you want to go with the dialogue, you could have great conversations at gas stations. You could even make friends, which is pretty cool. Now, one thing I've noticed too about gas stations is that you have to kind of have an open vibe, I guess, or aura. I call it aura. You know, if you're pumping gas, you know, and if you're just mean mugging the world and you're looking down, I mean, I wouldn't even approach you. And I've seen a couple people like that. I can understand that maybe they've had a bad day, or, you know, somebody just cut them off, or, you know, their hamster ran away or something like that. I can understand you don't want to talk to anybody. But when I'm at a gas station, I'm usually really pumped up to talk to anyone. Like, I'm pumping gas. If somebody says like, yeah, man, awesome car. And I'm like, yeah, I have kind of like my speech. I say, yeah, this is a 1991 Acura NSX. I love it. It's all stock. And then I open up the floor if they want to ask any questions or if they want to do any follow-ups. And then usually I just try to leave a good impression and give them, you know, some information about the car. And of course, being a YouTuber, I got to give them my card or tell them, hey man, you better subscribe. Now, compared to car shows, one thing I've noticed about car shows, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but whenever I get a flyer for a car show, it says, if you want to participate, you have to show up like at 8. And the show starts at 10:30 or 11, and then you have to stay there till like 3. And that's a lot of time. And especially here in Colorado, the sun is beating down, and if you don't have any shade, that ain't good. So those are one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of car shows. And sometimes I'll go and bring my car and park and look at a car show. But I think I really like gas station interactions the most, because you could talk. Anyone who's interested in the car, if they want to, they're going to engage you. And then you kind of got to go because somebody else has to use that pump. Or it's just kind of polite because we all know it's a gas station. Well, guys, I'm curious to hear your interactions about your gas station experiences. I've had really good ones. When I owned a Supra, I had one bad one. And I had quite a few bad experiences with the Supra. And I'm gonna share those with you because I think it's kind of funny. And I am who I am. If you guys, you guys see me on YouTube, but I could be pretty wild. So this is what happened. So I had a twin turbo automatic Supra. And people, for some reason, especially in Florida, which it was really bad in Florida, but they would come up and be like, this is an amazing Supra. And then before they even walked up to the car, they would like cross their hands and be like, but tell me, you better tell me it's not an auto, right? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, come on, man. And then I'm just like, what? The first times that this happened, I was like, a little bit shocked. So I was like, ha ha ha, and got in my car. But after a couple of years, I got pretty well equipped to deal with people like that. I would be like, yeah, it's an auto, but this was the best thing ever I've learned to combat those comments. It was amazing. I would say like, it's an auto, it's amazing, I love it. And then I would pause, right? I'd pause, and then I would say in a nice way, but of course I had an ulterior motive. I know it's a little like, calculating, but it is what it is, you know. And I would say, so what do you drive? And oh my gosh, without fail, 10 out of 10, they would be like, oh man, I've got I've got this this sedan car. I'm like, oh cool, what is it? He's like, oh, it's just my daily. And I'm like, awesome, man. I'm like, man, there's not a lot of sedans with manuals. And then they would be like, oh no, it's an automatic. And I'm like, oh, that's crazy. He said, and then they'd be like, but I'm saving up for something. I'm like, that's cool, man. I was like, all right, awesome. Well, I gotta go, peace. And I would just leave. And let me tell you, I almost look forward to the automatic comments because I was always well equipped. But besides that, I really didn't have any bad experiences. One of the best experiences, now at least noses, so it's not like I'm being rude or anything like that, but I was at a gas station and I was in my Porsche and like these two girls were looking and they smiled. And let me tell you, for a car guy, that doesn't happen a lot. And I was like, it's all car, it's all gold digger action. But you know what? It doesn't matter what the reason was. It was a good day. But yeah, I mean, besides that, I've met a lot of cool people. I've met some friends, but gas stations are cool. And to be honest with you, I love talking to people. All right, guys, I want to hear your stories. You let me know. And again, thanks for listening. Elise calls this the orange chat videos or orange chair talk videos. That's kind of funny. All right, guys, you take care and we'll talk to you soon.